for our first game of the set. Let's get started.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going into game number 1 here, and we're seeing a lot of aggressive gameplay coming out of Xjcoolj, just because he had the weapons in the beginning. But Shadra picked up that spear, and that spear has been going pretty good so far. But as I say that, they throw it away. Xj just goes ahead and weapon starves them, picks up sword, gets a neutral air dare. You see down like ground pound coming in from Shadra as well. But overall, Xj currently has been doing very, very well at keeping that platform control until Shadra currently has like a really aggressive weapon.
For sure. He's getting pushed off stage, trying to make his way back now on the side, able to push him away with that Sayer, but they will trade positions very quickly thereafter. Shadra able to find that down signature. Xjcoolj getting down into knockout HP right now, but so is Shadra at this point. Weapon throw comes out. Is Xj going to be able to make it back? He will. The spear comes out, and the desync hits in the last frame. Xjcoolj, no! That desync was looking magnetic as Xjcoolj just very slowly gets hit by it. The very edge of the hitbox. Very, very unfortunate. Shadra with a stock advantage here. Able to get a couple of starting attacks in the air. Building up that damage just a little bit, but Xjcoolj is going to get a swift knockout with a very clean offstage play there. Respawning here. Still only unarmed, picking up that spear. Tries to go for the nair, but Xjcoolj with a nice punish. Down into orange here though. Shadra getting that knockout a little bit earlier, definitely paying off right now.
Yeah, and right now with Shadra having to have stock lead, it's going to allow for, Shadra to be able to get a huge lead opportunity there. Throws that spear around a little bit, does get that signature. Is using the signature set of Mirage pretty well, and it might catch Xj off guard a couple different times. The spear recovery does come in clutch though, pushing that pressure onto them. And as soon as Shadra goes in and picks up a weapon with that aggressiveness playstyle, it's going to allow them to kind of catch Xj a little bit off guard until they can kind of regroup. Because right now they're playing guitars, neutrally does land. You're going to see probably a follow-up option, a side light into, oh, he dashed too far down with that side air. Almost going to get knocked out, but neutral light into side air, or side light into weapon throw. Shadra tries to knock him off the ceiling right afterwards though. Xj just goes ahead and is like, you know what? Let me try the side air option again off that ledge. Shadra giving him the opportunity, but actually dodges out of that. Neutral air weapon throw into sword pickup, making sure that Shadra does not pick up a weapon so that he can do more damage build up. And neutral air comes in. Oh, side air comes in into a knockout option. No, but he doesn't go for it.
Doesn't find one. Able to get that ground pound though. Shadra going down to the last stock here, and you were right on the money earlier, AJ. With Shadra, signatures are the name of the game. You already see a down signature coming out. Xjcoolj able to space around it, looking for a read at this point, but Xjcoolj is remaining unreadable.
Oh. Yeah, but at the moment though, Xj is kind of going crazy with those guitars, going in with those strings with those guitars, and Shadra's kind of being caught off guard just a tad bit. Tries to go for the neutral signature side air, gets countered for that. Now we got Shadra on that side. It's going to be a lot more of a fast-paced weapon, so we're going to see them be a lot more aggressive. And that's going to be great for Xj because they have the guitars. They can go a little bit more aggressive in the close range and not get as punished. But as I say that, the unarmed recovery does come in. Oh, they try to weapon starve Shadra. Oh, but that weapon throw actually was detrimental to Xj just due to the fact that it allowed for Shadra's recovery frames to reset and allow them to have that platform control. And that two-piece combo leads to Shadra going into game number 1 over Xj, just based off of the momentum change that happened with that weapon throw that Xj threw out.
Yeah, dude. Xj was looking really, really good toward the end of that game, man. Shadra was struggling to find that knockout for quite some time, and Xj was able to capitalize off of that. Still, Shadra coming out on top, and I think what it really comes down to in this game was Shadra's ability to find the knockouts. Both of the knockouts, I feel like Shadra got quite early and very efficiently. He didn't struggle that much, other than, of course, the last stock.
Yeah, but that last stock was very, very close between both these players, so I want to see... I mean, realistically, it came down to a reset of the recovery frames that caught Xj off guard, and Xj just couldn't get his mental back. I mean, there's so much aggressiveness coming for Shadra, and that's what you need to do once your opponent is a little bit off. mentally there is take advantage of that whenever you can. So going to game number 2, that we're on Miami Dome. Same character picks. Nothing's really going to swap this set at the moment. Double recovery does come in from XJ. One of the better options for damage build up in the air. Neutral light recovery does land. It's a recovery!
Oh, wow.
Almost trying to go for a follow-up recovery, but goes
No way!
and knocks himself out.
XJ, no, not like this. Not in the second game. Shadra with a lead immediately. I was just about to say, by the way, Miami Dome, this map, I don't know why. I tended to prefer Qatar's here on this stage. I don't know why. It just always plays so incredibly well on this stage.
The spacing between the platforms allows for a lot better opportunities for Qatar players too. So you'll see a lot of different Qatar players. I know in North America will tend to prefer Miami Dome if there is a platform map chosen. But right now, currently with this platform map, Shadra comes with the side light, down light, in the side air. XJ comes following up, tries to throw the weapon on Shadra. Shadra's able to come back and pick up that scythe. XJ picks up that Qatar, gets the down light option into a down signature, very, very clean, and is now 2 stacks off.
Okay, Xjcoolj, you're gonna need to get a lot of damage back here if you want to even things out. Shadra trying to go for that weapon. Xjcoolj, beautiful weapon guard, able to get Shadra down into yellow here, and it's basically evened up. He gets a 2-piece. He wasn't able to find that extension though. Shadra with the Nair wake up. Able to get Xjcoolj down into the red here though. Gonna get the knockout. Unarmed Sarah comes out. He wants to edge guard. The D-light isn't hitting anyone though.
Yeah, it is, and right now you're seeing both these players kind of float a little bit. We see Shadra take advantage of that with its Scythe neutral air, which has a lot of, range, but kind of allows them to not worry about recovery frames. And now Shadra tries to get that spear recovery on XJ, but XJ is coming back pretty well, gets that dare. But as I say, that Shadra with that spear side air, launching XJ in the air. Nice recovery, nice coming back to that ledge. But as soon as I say that, Shadra comes in with that Scythe downlight and allows for XJ to go down into that final stock.
Very clean knockout. Xjcoolj now in their final stock. As you mentioned, Shadra is just rigorously weapon starving them right now. Not able to get any hits though. Xjcoolj, very, very good movement. Not getting hit by anything from Shadra here. And you can definitely sense that Xjcoolj is slowing down the pace of the game a little bit right now.
Yeah, they're trying to regroup and trying to find a way to really approach those opportunities that are given to them. They're kind of sitting back like, okay, what can I do? Auto recovery does come out. You're going to see them trying to weapon start, but actually ground pounds instead. And then picks up that sword. Almost does a follow-up, but the Shadra does the spear neutral light. That allows for XJ to throw Shadra off that ledge, but Shadra knocking himself out. And now it's a 1 stack off.
That's close. Trying to get the wall touch with a GC side signature there. 1 stock to 1 stock right now. Shadra able to hit that scythe reverse Nair. Tries to follow it up with the recovery, but Xjcoolj is able to take back stage control. Shadra taking it back yet again with that recovery. Both of these guys are trading control of the game very, very quickly.
Yeah, and Shadra, you can definitely see them being a lot more aggressive and trying to take that away from XJ, but XJ is like, you know what? Let me go with Qatars. Let me punish that silent into neutral light, into recoveries. We're seeing that very, very nice string out of them a lot because it's doing a lot of damage build up. But now it's going to lead to, a lot of exchanges of that platform control. And the Silent into backward neutral light recovery lands. It's not knock out though, but it's going to lead to a sword pickup. Trying to catch Shadra off guard, but Shadra does realize he does have a sword. Shadra gets risky with some on gameplay, which is going to change the momentum a little bit. Actually into Shadra's favor. It actually is kind of having an approach. And Shadra with the neutral air. Oh, but the GC down misses. He dropped that.
Recovery. It's not enough. Weapon throw isn't going to connect either. Has to go off stage with the spear. Xjcoolj gets the stage back, but a recovery on the way back. That's a 2-0 on the board as Shadra is looking super strong right now. Look at that damage difference, by the way. That was such an unfortunate first stock for Xjcoolj.
Well, and XJ did 2 critical things too. I mean, the beginning of the first round, or the first game there, or first stocks, I should really say, they actually mispredicted that. They did that final recovery and mispredicted the way they can come back to that platform. And then we saw Shadra actually give up that lead that they had by missing that one option. But as soon as they dropped that downlight side air combo, it just gave Shadra that big opportunity of getting that winning that second game. So going into game number 3, we're on Demon Island. We're not going to see a lot of Spirit Recovery knockouts because it is Demon Island, does have the high ceiling. So I want to see how things change for XJ as well, because that Guitar Recovery also doesn't knock out as fast as well. So lots of back and forth here. Now we're seeing some sword gameplay there into neutral air, into neutral light. Tries to get risky with that sword ground pound off the ledge, but a lot of exchanges so far, but XJ is keeping that platform control.
Able to get the recovery on the way back. Down signature comes out. Xjcoolj able to push him off though. So far, these tight walls that you have on this map seems to be favoring both of the players equally. Both of them not shying away from the offstage gameplay whatsoever. Xjcoolj trying to go for a commitment here. Weapon throw, not going to be enough. Beautiful use of that GC side signature. We saw that on the Miami Dome game. Shadra tried to do that prior, but wasn't able to get the timing right.
But then Xjcoolj does come in with the 3-piece guitar combo, which allows for that KO. But I think even XJ wasn't expecting that signature to land, and he was confused. And Shadra had a big opportunity, but XJ just maximized on it.
Nice
and
lead.
Look how XJ is with those guitars, just reading the momentum and the movement that Shadra has. He might be able to get some of that weapon throw. Actually saves him, but they say GC downlight in the ground pound land. XJ picks up that sword, controlling still, and gets the GC downlight in the ground pound right after that. And just showing how well he does under pressure with his momentum in those critical moments.
Still finds the combo. Shadra is going to find the knockout right thereafter, but Xjcoolj is now in a full stock lead, looking very comfortable right now over Shadra. As you mentioned, able to find a bit of a string here. Tries to go for a big call-out option, but Xjcoolj isn't going to get caught in it. Did Shadra get hit yet? Okay, that's a side light. That's a second side light.
Another neutral light comes in into restored recovery. I mean, Shadra realized, I think, that they need to go ahead and have that momentum lead if they want to go ahead and bring back an entire stock. And as soon as they were starting to do that, XJ's kind of rebutted a little bit. And now...
What happened?
Oh, Shadra misses
that almost worked.
Pound.
That almost worked, by the way.
It did.
He just went, dude, he went off stage, throws weapon backwards. What is that, 200 IQ play? It looked like the biggest mistake ever, but it almost worked. Xjcoolj is gonna brush it off though, and still will be able to two-stock Shadra here with a very, very strong game. I mean, we can now definitely see the only reason the second game was that close was because Xjcoolj basically threw away a stock. Whenever Xjcoolj doesn't just throw away a stock, he's a lot stronger.
Well, I think it comes down to them being so much in the momentum of their gameplay that they have a rough time regrouping if they do get hit out of that momentum, right? So with XJ, it's like, okay, once they're in that momentum, like in these games, it allows them to get a lot of damage build up and get KO options, but maybe sometimes it doesn't, but it's been working a lot right now against Shadra. But as soon as they get too much into that momentum, they kind of give these opportunities out to Shadra, and that's where XJ has to be very, very careful about. With Shadra, they allowed for XJ to be in that momentum. They started coming back that last game, but as we go into this game, we're seeing a lot of exchanges off that ledge so far. We're back on Miami Dome. That's a big thing to consider, especially with guitars being on Miami Dome being a little bit easier to KO on. But XJ is not using any guitars. They're going crazy on that sword. And now swapping guitars, going on our gameplay. GC downlink into GC neutral signature, KO Shadra, and XJ really, really wants to break this go into a game number 5.
Super, super strong game so far from Xjcoolj. We mentioned previously that you can really, really tell that Xjcoolj had slowed down the pace of the game. He's made a complete 180, making sure that Shadra doesn't know what kind of pace that he's going for and always keeps him guessing, making sure that he is in control over the game. And what is that option? That's going to be the knockout. Xjcoolj, I can't believe this. 1 minute into the game and you have taken 2 stocks. The second stock, what was that?
That was XJ saying, I have the control. I have platform control. Shadra's having a rough time really approaching, and they're throwing out different attacks that allow me to go ahead and punish. You know, XJ just had an opportunity there, didn't really punish it, but still came back and showed that pressure and the momentum that they have. And Shadra does go to interrupt it with the GC downlight in the ground pound unarmed off that ledge, which is a fantastic way to do that. So if you're Shadra, you need to go ahead and take that momentum in stride, do some damage buildup, go for some crazy combos. and see if he can catch XJ off guard. XJ now with a sword gets a sidelight, tries to go for some risky stuff. Shadra trying to punish that with a weapon throw and lead into something, unable to do so, gets that spear dare. But XJ now having that sword gets the sidelight there. Picks up guitars, is going to lead into a sidelight. Neutral air, but the neutral air misses Shadra with a punish, but XJ with the guitar recovery, leaving Shadra in a little bit of a vulnerable moment. But as I say that, Shadra with the weapon throw dare is going to allow for a KO opportunity at that dare. The side air goes in and fully punishes that, and now one stock all.
One stock all, but he is all the way down in red right now. Xjcoolj is so very close to finding a knockout. He's able to pick up that sword too. So you already know one of these D-Light combos are not too far away from doing it. Shadra is able to pick up that sight though. Can he find a read? The D-Light Sair comes out, but it's not enough to get the knockout.
It is not, and right now XJ having that platform control, Shadra is giving that to them. They were trying to take it around a little bit. XJ is now so much into that momentum. It's going to lead into a KO option. Knowing that Shadra's got the exclamation points, tries to get that neutral light. Unable to land, gets a sword recovery, and XJ takes game number 4 to their name. And we are going into a game number 5 between Xjcoolj and Shadra, man.
Xjcoolj looking so strong, on the verge of a reverse 3-0 right now, as Shadra is scratching their head, wondering what they can do to bring this back.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that was really looking like it was going to be just a Xjcoolj domination, but Shadra did very well under that pressure, did remove 2 stocks, but wasn't able to bring it back enough. And that's hard for anyone to do. So going into game number 5, Shadra knows what happened in game 3 and game 4. See what they can really do going forward with that.
And we are going on to Western Air Temple. So yet again, pretty, you know, the platforms are almost like they are on Miami Dome. Not quite, pretty similar though. So as we mentioned, the guitars having potentially a slight edge on that will now not be an effect here. Shadra looking strong on the spear, getting an anti-air started. He's getting pushed off stage, and Xjcoolj, man, as you mentioned before, whenever he has stage control, he's super scary.
Oh yeah, for sure. And right now, I mean, we're seeing a lot of really good back and forth. That silent neutral from XJ he's having that platform control, and when Shadra gives that to him, especially with guitars, it does so much opportunities to do damage buildup on that platform. Because you got the light attacks that are so good at leading into different strings, and that's what guitars are. So if you're Shadra, you want to take that platform control away, get that sided weapon throw, pick up the sight, and do into a GC light attack, and go ahead and take that lead. But you really, really need to take that platform control, and they need to be very aware about that.
For sure. Xjcoolj thrives whenever you ask that, especially on those guitars. We're going to see the sword come into play instead now, though. D-Light Sair not going to be enough to get that knockout. Shadra going to get stuck in that GC D-Light ground pound on the way back, and XJ sticking to the guitars now, just as we were mentioning. Let's see what he's able to do with them.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, I mean, we're just seeing a lot of, you know, basically XJ having that platform control does get that neutral air. Shadra uses that weapon to go ahead and try to get back to that platform, but XJ does come back, and both players miss the recovery, which is going to allow for a fight of that platform control again. XJ is going to go ahead and be able to grab that because Shadra threw that weapon around. But actually, XJ is kind of baiting them into attacking a little bit. They're not really attacking in certain moments where it would be really useful, and Shadra's getting caught off guard a little bit by it.
For sure.
Oh, sidelight downline back into backward dare.
For a really long time there in that second stock, it looked like both of the players were just looking for like the dream opening move. You know, they wanted to catch the other one slacking in a position where they would be able to get a 0 to knockout, but it just never came. And now we're going back to playing some solid neutral here. Shadra pushing XJ off, but he's able to get back onto the stage. Super good at recovering back onto the stage against Shadra. Shadra, I can count on one hand of the amount of successful edge guards he's had on XJ.
Oh! Yeah, and right now XJ's overall neutral control allows them to go ahead and take that momentum and get that downlight into recovery KO on the Shadra. For Shadra, it's a big deal of, okay, I need to go and take that neutral control away from XJ because he's feeling so comfortable if you're able to go and make XJ feel uncomfortable, especially taking away the main thing that's doing damage build up, that's going to allow them to be able to have a couple different opportunities for KOing them on their stocks there and going ahead and winning game number 5. Because keep in mind, this is game number 5, so Shadra's got to be very careful if they want to go in and advance. Same thing with XJ. That weapon throw into helicopter ground pound does land, and XJ's down to his final stock.
It's still possible. It's still doable for Shadra. He has the weapon advantage. It's going to be that scythe. Xjcoolj looking for the weapon pickup. Shadra is able to keep get a starve started. Xjcoolj able to push him off though with this unarmed. He's down into orange at this point. The unarmed is working super well for XJ.
Yeah, and right now with XJ currently actually swapping over guitars, gets the dare into the neutral light. Shadra getting some two-piece combos there, here and there. XJ is just trying to go for the knockout, trying to go for that neutral signature, trying to get these neutral layer recoveries, just trying to find any possible option in KOing, and Shadra's been punishing them quite a bit, now making things a little bit more even for themselves. This is a final stock with Shadra in the red and XJ in the orange. It is down to wire. Shadra takes that puck control, gets his recovery, almost gets that KO option.
Oh! The DC could have been massive. It's not going to connect though. Xjcoolj unarmed here. Shadra is looking for the knockout. He gets pushed off stage. XJ, can he find the D-light? He tries to go for the Sayer instead. Shadra had the anti-air set up, but didn't go for a recovery. I'm a little bit too scared, but the egg drop is gonna get it. And just like that, Shadra has gotten their second top 8 in their competitive career against PR number 6. What a set.
Yeah, that was a very, very good game between both these players there. And, you know, Shadra, you know, had a two-game lead in the beginning. XJ was coming back, but it all came down to game number 5 with how both those players reacted. And looking at these replays, I mean, it down